Bryce makes it 80 with ace-10.
Bryce is also another guy who hasn't had a ton go his way today. Lyman was commenting on Sam's hair. I agree. You like Sam's hair?
A lot of people are talking about Sam's hair.
It's nice hair.
It's beautiful hair.
As a kid, I always wanted kind of like long hair.
You could still have long hair.
I can. I get the Jufro.
The Jufro, I don't know what that is.
It just like goes out. Just goes up and out. I've always wanted that long hair.
You could straighten it, you know.
I don't think. I don't. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's curly hair. I just have thick hair, so it won't go long. Hey, what a flop for Bryce. He was the original raiser. He flops top pair with the ace of diamonds. He checks it. Josh flops to flush. I mean, Bryce is certainly not going to fold. Wow, goes check on the turn.
Wow.
Goes check on the turn.
I love Bryce's check raise on that flop. Even though we can see, obviously, that he's well behind.
And now Bryce check raises all in on the river. Well, he doesn't think Josh would ever check back a flush. He doesn't think Josh would ever check back a flush. Josh's check back on the flush has induced this, but can he make the call?
Again, Josh is finding himself in a spot where he's under-repped his hand, and now he's confused himself. And oh my goodness, what went on here? I thought I was trapping, and did I get trapped? He's going to have to think through it in his head, and I think Bryce played it in such a great way. I was going to finish saying I love that check raise on the flop because it really confounds your opponents. Mostly people are just betting. You know, they raise pre-flop, and then they just bet jam, especially if they hit flop like this. They're never allowing their opponent to see a free card, so they're going to bet. Bryce check raise is amazing, especially in this spot against this hand. Again, it's like if you could see the hands, it's like they played it beautifully.
I mean, Josh is not supposed to have a flush here.
No.
I mean, who checks back a flush? Who just calls a check raise and then checks back the turn, the flush?
And so Bryce thinks, you know, Josh backed into something like a jack, maybe jack 10. Maybe Bryce thinks he can get him off two pair here. At any rate, however big a hand he thinks Josh has, he definitely doesn't think it's a flush.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think Bryce might even think, you know, maybe I can get him to fold two pair. This is a very courageous play by Bryce that I think is going to work against most players. If Josh realizes that he under-repped his hand, he'll call this. I mean, how does he fold?
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, is Bryce really check raising the flop with like a king high flush or an ace high flush and then checking the turn?
This play is super tough to do, though, too. Again, to play like a devil's advocate, like how often is somebody check raise bombing it without the nuts, right? Even at this level. So tough to do. I mean, this play that Bryce is doing right now is super tough. Let's look at it. Let's see if he's sweating. Can we, like, zoom in? I mean, he's got to be, like, his heart's got to be pounding out of his chest. He's got to, like, have sweat running down, like, his temple because this is so hard. Like, it looks like it's just, like, nothing. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to check raise shove with third pair. But this is hard to do. And that's why for Josh, he's like, whoa, I thought I was trapping, but now, like, you're shoving? Like, holy crap.
I think Josh... The problem is, if I was in Josh's spot, I think Bryce's hand. I think Bryce actually. Remember, Bryce was the pre-flop raiser. Bryce could actually have a hand like Ace King here with the Ace of Diamonds. Mm.
Well, and
by the way, still play it like this for value because he doesn't think Josh has a flush.
Yeah, and even if he can fathom that maybe somehow he can get Josh to fold a flush. I mean, he has block. He's got the ace, so he knows if he has a flush, it's absolutely not the nuts. But I still, I mean, we can ask him after if he thought
he's
there's
not
any
trying
way.
to get Josh. He's not trying to get Josh to fold a flush. I think he might think. The thing is, I think if Josh has two pair here, I think if Josh rivered two pair with Jack 10 or something like that, I think he folds.
Which is why this is such a great play, but so tough. Josh is trying to say something. Do we hear him? Is he whispering? What's he saying? He calls. He did it.
He does make the call.
Oh, Bryce's face is.
I mean,
hurt.
honestly, I think it's a great play by Bryce. I really do. It just, unfortunately for him, Josh checked back that turn with the flush. I don't think a lot of players do that. A lot of players with a smaller flush are just going to be, they're going to want to protect their hand, quote unquote. They're going to bet the turn to protect a little bit, to get value. I don't think Bryce ever put him on a flush. And frankly, I think Bryce gets everything but a flush to fold.
Bryce has got a tick. He needs a massage. His neck hurts. His heart hurts. But I tell you what, he did have a lot of heart with that play. That was a great play from both. I mean, I don't know if Josh, that was actually, like you said, that check behind on that turn was amazing. It just insta check behind. Bryce checks, Josh checks. The level of play that we saw in that hand was phenomenal, I think, on both ends. Bryce not happy with it, but results-oriented, it sucks. Just lost $3 grand, but how it worked out is good.